What's up, guys? Welcome to Season 5, Episode 4 of the Monday Night Wars. I am Chad Talks, and joining me as always is Jmack Gaming.
Hello, everybody. You must be wondering, what the hell took so long? Chad, what the hell took so long?
Hey, we just got busy.
Yeah, I got super busy with work. I was traveling a lot, even more than usual. I was in Vegas, working on stuff for the Formula One race. Chad, you were just, slaving away in the corporate America food industry.
Yeah.
I got stuck in Georgia for one more week, but I'm off for a month and a half more. You know how many TEW episodes we're gonna slap out while I'm here?
What?
I hope. We said that when we started booking a week ago, and now we're just here to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was also the holiday.
You got sick, and it was a holiday, and yeah. I'm here for a month and a half, and you must be wondering, hey, Jmack, you promised me a draft special. Well, change of plans, all right? The commissioner, Roger Goodell, he caught COVID, and he just didn't want to do it anymore. We can go, Chad, you want to do a quick rundown? You want me to do a quick rundown of maybe like the top 15, top 30 draft picks?
Yeah, sure.
Because I don't think you really know either. That's the beauty of it all. So SmackDown got Eric Bischoff beat Jim Foley in the Commissioner Cup at WrestleMania, and he got the first overall pick, which was Kurt Angle. He went with Kurt Angle going to Friday Night SmackDown. Chad, how do you feel about that pick?
I love that pick. I think it's great. I think if you're going to start a brand, the ground up with a roster, I can't think of a better person to build it around.
All right, Raw. I agree with that, Chad. By the way, I think if there was anyone you would build a brand around, it's two of the top 4 guys got picked. Kurt Angle goes number 1 to SmackDown. Number 1 was a surprise to Monday Night Raw. You would think maybe the reigning and current number 1 wrestler of the year, Randy Orton, would go number 1. But John Cena went number 1 to Monday Night Raw, and it was a snake draft.
Ooh.
Yes, Cena goes number 1. Randy Orton did go number 2 in a snake draft. Going back to SmackDown, we look at The Undertaker, and then from here on out, I'll just read you down the list of Raw and SmackDown. So we'll go on Raw, the top 15 for Monday Night Raw. John Cena, followed by Randy Orton, a Latin Lover, Edge, Sean Morley was a top 5 pick for Monday Night Raw. Satoshi Kojima was number 6, followed by Don Fry, Psychosis, Jeff Jarrett, and all the way rounding out Team Raw on round 10 was Ric Flair. Number 11 was Chavo Guerrero. Jun Akiyama was 12. Teddy Hart, 13. El Hijo del Santo, number 14. And number 15 on Monday Night Raw was Chris Hero. What we did for this was tag teams were not drafted together. Keep that in mind. On Friday Night SmackDown, their top 15 picks, Kurt Angle, The Undertaker was number 2, Triple H, Chris Jericho, and Christian Cage rounded out the top 5. All champions, I must remind you, we're on the same brand. So Brock Lesnar, Martin and Burton, and William Regal were on Raw, and then Masawa, London and Kendrick, Chris Daniels, and Johnny Storm were already defaulted to SmackDown. Number 6 through 15 for Friday Night SmackDown includes Shinya Hashimoto, Kane, Mystico, PJ Black, C.W. Anderson, Mark Henry, Jushin Liger, Bryan Danielson, Scott Studd, and Stevie Richards. Chad, anyone in those top 30 picks that you were surprised not to see? Put you on the spot as you trying to remember my roster.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody at the moment. Scott, you said Scott Steiner?
Scott Steiner's contract is up and was not drafted.
Ooh,
spoiler alert, he is not a member of the WWE roster anymore. China was also hurt, so she was not drafted at all. And, well, to be fair, all women were left on Raw, as that is where the women's division is. Some people could say maybe a guy like Chad Collier was robbed of the top 15, as he went round 18.
I have to say that's probably the biggest disgrace, to be honest with you.
Chad Collier went round 18 to Friday Night SmackDown. Dean Malenko was only in round 16, which is kind of a shock. You could say Scotty Tuhani was a very late pick, round 24 to Monday night, or actually Friday Night SmackDown. Sorry about that. Kid Cash as well. Maybe Renee Dupree and Shannon Moore also were not in the top 15 as well. We also saw Renee Dupree get drafted to the Raw, while Conway and Grenier were left on SmackDown. So the La Resistance kind of
has been split up.
Yeah, the Bashams have also gone to Raw or SmackDown. And we also saw like Stud, Vic, and Stash all stay together, but they go to SmackDown. While Chris Hero is the only family member to split roster, as he is on Raw, while Richards, Harris, and Sanders are all left on Friday Night SmackDown. That is your draft recap. But now we get into where it all matters. The first pay-per-view post WrestleMania. It's WWE Backlash. Chad, are you excited for this show?
Oh, I'm absolutely excited. Listen, I'm excited. I get to basically kind of learn with everybody else who's watching this kind of what's happening with how we've changed up the format.
Yeah,
and I'm excited. I want to be taken on I want to feel like I'm listening to an audiobook.
All right.
I just got for free off Spotify.
Ooh, God, I'm gonna puke. Sorry, that was Bobby Roode's Glorious. We're live here in Tampa, Florida, Chad, here at the St. Pete Times Forum for WWE Backlash. Don't look at the 93,000 fans that are expected, because St. Pete Times Forum is a max of what, 19,000? 19,758. Backlash, a show that is historically, not as it's the rebound off of WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania into Backlash. We see a lot of rematches from the previous the WrestleMania right before. This year, only one rematch, which is I'm glad to do this year. I don't, I've always relied on the rematch, but now this year, nah. We look at the last 4 years of Backlashes. Look, we may have fucked up at WrestleMania in 1999, but Rock and Stone Cold at Backlash 99 tore the roof off the place in 98. We also saw, I love looking at these because it's just fun to look at. Mark Mero defeated the Big Boss match. Edge and Jarrett in the opener, a steal over Taka. Mystico, Booker T over Mankind. TNA, Test, Sultan and Carino defeated Bob Holly and the Stogan Inc. Sean Stasiak and the American Heartbreakers, Chad. What a fucking team that was. Defeated Ken Shamrock and the New Age Outlaws. Triple H won a 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship. And we went over Rock and Austin. The next year, headlined by Rock and Taka and Triple H and Eddie. Wow, what a weird... Rock and Taka's sick. That's a match I'm surprised you haven't ran with over there in the... in WCW, Chad.
Maybe we will someday.
Kurt Angle and Bryan Anderson were on the pre-show of that show. 2001 Backlash, Brock Lesnar and The Rock in the rematch of WrestleMania, no DQ. Dean Malenko and Orton, Stasiak over Tyson, and PJ Black over Edge. I think this is the year where Triple H defeated Teddy Hart, to open the show. And last year, remember, Alex Wright, who cashed in at WrestleMania, defended his belt over Brock Lesnar in the main event here, Triple H and Orton. And we saw Fig win the European Championship as well. Speaking of the European Championship, Chad, China on a week of, I don't know if I go over this in this pay-per-view. I may have put an angle in it just to bring the people up to speed on this. Let me double check. I don't think so. Yes, China, due to injury, has relinquished the European Championship. And as of 2 days ago, Chad, GM Foley and WWE have retired that belt. That belt is no more. There is no more European Championship.
Yeah, rest in peace, European Championship.
Yeah, it is a rest in peace. If we look over At the,
Who do you think is the best European champion
I,
in your company's
I
history?
was just gonna look at this. Chad, do you want to come in here real quick and get Kai out of my room while I go over this?
Oh, yeah. Here, give me 1 second.
He's being an asshole. I mean, Stasiak is someone that always comes to mind. Edge. I mean, this was a championship. Get him out of here. This was a championship to elevate. I always used it for people to get elevated from that lower mid card to upper to the mid card. Because you could see a guy like Stasiak won it. Jarrett, Edge, Christian, Ace Steel won it. Orton, JBL, Lenny Lane, Alex Wright held it for a couple weeks. Held it for like a week. Best European champion though.
I think the answer is staring you right in the face.
I think it's vacant. Ace Steel comes to mind as one of my favorites as a European champion. The assassin himself.
Steel's not a bad pick.
I know you want to go with Chad Collier, but he only. I mean,
I kind of like. I just like the gimmick where he was going around all of Europe, being like the European like hero.
That's true. He just didn't have it for a long time. That's my problem with it. You also could go with Lenny Lane.
2-time champion though.
2-time champion, but had it for like a combined 3 months.
Taking a trip down memory lane though.
Yeah, Lenny Lane might be Lenny Lane and Ace Steel, I think. Jarrett also held it for a long time, early save from September to April, where he lost it to Edge at Backlash '99. It's a weird title that started off in the save with Shawn.
Being a European champion is wild.
Yeah, it started off in the save with Shawn and Triple H and Mankind, and then Stasiak won it, and then it became an elevated. It became.
I feel like it probably dipped after like I was gonna say like a King Iokea, but then Randy Orton had it.
Yeah, well, again, Randy Orton wasn't. That's the elevation that we used that European Championship to elevate Randy Orton. I forgot King Iokea had it. Good for him. He is a long lost soldier of this save. Let's get into Backlash here, Chad.
Let's do it.
Let's get into Backlash. We start off in the pre-show with an angle here, Chad, where Chavo Guerrero, or Teddy Hart, has been in a little bit of a feud since WrestleMania and leading up into the show with Mike Awesome and Latin Lover. Teddy Hart had a couple spots at the King of the Mountain match, and Latin Lover, the feud boiled over to the first episode of Monday Night Raw, where Teddy Hart rolled up Latin Lover on the first episode of Monday Night Raw. I won't get too much into this feud. I'll save it for the match itself. But Chavo Guerrero told Teddy Hart, who's been getting attacked by the Awesome Lovers of Latin Lover and Mike Awesome, that he's got some unfinished business with Latin Lover, and he'll tag with Teddy Hart tonight.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. So okay, that's one match you already know.
Team. It's probably not going to stick around, but I kind of like the little Teddy Hart Chavo team.
Yeah.
It's like a family legacy kind of thing.
Who's the legacy for Teddy Hart?
Oh, he's part of the Hart family, isn't he?
He is the Hart family. He's the best Hart. He's, right? I think, in this game, the most over Hart in the game.
Oh my god! I think Brett.
No. Brett's at a 77, Chad. I don't.
Sure.
Yeah, I know for a fact that Teddy Hart, with his 89 right now, in the tri-state.
We will update you on that theory. We will let you know. We will let you know at Spring Stampede who is more over, Teddy Hart.
I can already let you know it is Teddy Hart right now. We'll go back into the show. Sorry about that. Our opening match on the pre-show, Valentino, who was drafted from SmackDown to Raw, takes on Kenny Omega, who has come over from WCW. We've seen him. I don't even know if he was an official contracted superstar over there. We really didn't see him much over there, but he came over here to Monday Night Raw, and he's wrestling on the pre-show. He takes on Valentino and loses in 14:45. A nice match here, 74 for these two kids, and a match that has ran in our pre-show main event, John. A match that has been on the pre-show 3 of the 4 weeks leading up to Backlash. It's one of my favorite rivalries right now. It is Chris Devine and Ian McGregor. two guys that have no reason in getting 76s, but they get a 76. Ian McGregor taps out and puts Chris Devine in a sleeper hold and wins the match here, Chad.
Oh yeah, good for Ian McGregor.
Ian McGregor.
A hot new move. Was it a sleeper hold?
Yes, it was the sleeper hold. He is a guy who has no. I don't know, man.
I feel like I just want to say we've had Ian McGregor on this roster longer than AEW has had the timeless Tony Storm gimmick, and so I want to say I think timeless Ian McGregor picked up a big victory against Chris Devine.
I like to think Tony Khan watches our series.
Well, I think that's how he got inspired. I absolutely think so.
Well, I think because you can watch his shitty booking, and I think he gets a little bit of influence from me and you on his shitty booking on TV. So
yeah, that's probably accurate.
I'm shooting from the hip, brother.
He watched How to Lose a TV Deal from the experts.
All right, let's get into the show here.
Rampage is probably on par with Thunder at this point.
Dude, no, Collision is on page of fucking Saturday night. We go into the opening promo, the opening segment, highlighted by our three big one-on-one. Well, these are not our three big one-on-one matches, but three of our big matches here tonight. The rematch from WrestleMania. I know I went on a spew about not wanting too many rematches from WrestleMania, but I have two right here. I just realized. Brock and Randy, our main event, a no DQ match, as tradition now in Backlash that the main event is no DQ. Sean Morley gets a rematch on William Regal in a submission match for the Intercontinental Championship. And Ric Flair goes one-on... What?
That's going to bang. I can already feel it.
And Ric Flair goes one-on-one with former WCW World Heavyweight Champion Shannon Moore. What a show we have in store for you. We also, like we said, we have Teddy Hart and Chavo taking on the Awesome Lovers. A couple other matches that we won't spoil until we get there, because you need some, I don't want to give you everything, I don't want to put everything on a platter and just let you eat off my hands. I want you to wait.
This is the appetizer. This is the appetizer.
The little appetizer going into the show. We start off with a match that, when we started the series, I thought if you would have guessed two people in an opening match in 2003 WWE Backlash, I would have given you a million guesses. I don't think you would have ever gotten it. We start off with Kojima and Psychosis going one-on-one, Chad. What is the storyline going into this? All right, perfect.
Asking me.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking. I was like, you're asking me? I don't know.
No, you are Chad, right?
Oh, I am Chad. Okay. Well, here. So this is what's going on in the Satoshi Kojima Psychosis story. Satoshi Kojima is actually an aspiring culinary chef.
Okay.
And asked Psychosis for his past missions.
All right, Kojima. Kojima, after, he spent the last year, right? Last 9 months being part of the most dominant stable of professional wrestling history.
Yeah, he's on his own now. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's what I want to hear, Chad. He's on his own, because Hashimoto and Misawa are on SmackDown.
Lone Wolf.
The Lone Wolf, Satoshi Kojima. He got drafted to the Raw, former SmackDown champion, former bodyguard of Misawa, former, final boss, not former, but final boss of professional wrestling. He got drafted over to Monday Night Raw. In his opening match on the first week of Raw, he beat Fig in a nice little match. After Kojima's walking backstage and Psychosis bumps into him, and now Psychosis already in a terrible mood, because if you didn't listen to our draft results earlier, all of his friends in the Black McMahon Dynasty are on SmackDown. PJ Black, Mark Henry, Shane, Stephanie, they're all on SmackDown now. Psychosis is all alone.
Lone Wolf.
The Lone Wolf. And Psychosis is not happy, and he started taking out his anger against Kojima. After Kojima defeated JBL in the main event of Monday Night Raw Week 3. Yeah, you heard me right. It was Kojima, JBL, and Main. Psycho.
That do?
Fuck. What did that did? Like a 91?
Yeah, JBL has come a long way, or was it mainly Kojima?
It was both. JBL, let's look real quick. We can look. After I'll go over the storyline.
JBL was always that guy that no matter how much you pushed him, he just never got over it.
He can't get over, but he is very good in ring, and that's my problem with him. After that match, after he beat JBL, Psychosis came out and fucking hit a brainbuster on Kojima, and look, security had to take him out. They had to get him out of here. GM Foley said, Psychosis, you are not allowed to be on Monday Night Raw until the pay-per-view. Because Kojima wanted the match with him. Kojima just says, look, Psychosis, I was hoping for new life on Monday Night Raw, but, oh, what did I just do? Oh, no, don't look. Don't look. I didn't mean to hit that. Week 3, by the way. Kojima, 88. Kojima got a 96.
JBL got an 80.
It may have been chemistry-wise. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Kojima says, Psychosis, you've picked a fight with the wrong guy. You are now at the final level, and I am the final boss. It's Kojima and Psychosis, Chad. Who do you have in this match?
I'm gotta go with my boy Psychosis.
All right. Well, Kojima starts off his Monday Night Raw run with a win, defeating Psychosis in 16:01 by pinfall.
The Psychosis just completely phoning it in.
Oh, God. Showing true unprofessionalism and clearly unhappy Psychosis. Completely phoned in his performance. What a cocksucker.
Wow. Wow, what a dick.
Oh. Man, he is really in character right now, brother. He is.
I know.
I hate this man so much.
The man who was once a chef has really changed. he got a dark side when he came to WWE.
Kojima, Psychosis, starts attacking cameramen, starts through the stairs across the ring. He's clearly upset. And Kojima, as Psychosis is going up the ramp, does a little finger gun Kenny Omega cleaner thing, and shoots Psychosis in the head. And Kojima wins. What?
Wow.
Psychosis, man. I don't really know what's going on with him. I don't really know anymore.
I mean, he looks phoned in. He couldn't be bothered.
He didn't even. Yeah, he said, "I'm not going out there, brother." He got the Lindsay Dorado AEW rub right there. What the hell? We move on, and our world champion has arrived, Chad. And now this angle, you know, it looks like someone has just arrived, right? This is a Tampa street fight. Sorry, not no DQ. He's already been here. This only is important because Randy Orton on the Go Home on Monday Night Raw was already in Tampa. As he put out a chair and was already waiting in the streets. He's been here for a week. Brock Lesnar has just arrived. Does that help Randy Orton that he's already scouted out the streets? He has a home field advantage in quotations? We'll have to find out later tonight. But now we move on to another match. A match that has blood, sweat, and Bud Light spilled. It's the Hometown Heroes taking on the Bloodline. In the Barroom Blitz, we've seen, you know, the gimmick. Timmy Pulver, Charlie St. Hubbins, Hometown Heroes. They've been at the bar for weeks, going to the bar before the shows, whatever. But now, Rhino, Ekmo, Meng, and the Barbarian, the Bloodline, got drafted to Monday Night Raw. And they went to the bar. You know Meng and Barbarian, they can drink. And they got in a barroom fight with the Hometown Heroes that has spilled over to the ring tonight. It's the Hometown Heroes against Ekmo and Rhino, the Bloodline. Chad, who do you have?
Got the Hometown Heroes.
They got the Hometown Heroes. And you're probably wondering, what happened to Kishi? Well, he's still on SmackDown, brother. The rest of the Bloodline got drafted to Monday Night Raw. In this match, a 74, the Hometown Heroes do defeat Rhino and Ekmo with 15-25. Making their stand that this is their home. This is their hometown, Chad, and they're the heroes as they defeat the Bloodline. Timmy Pulver pinning Rhino after hitting the primetime slam. Darren Young and Titus O'Neil approve. Yeah, everyone, 68, 53, 61, 60. ECMO getting a 61. Holy moly. He outperformed Rhino. What the hell? What the hell?
Good for ECMO.
Good for ECMO Fatu here, Chad. After the match, After the match, Mang and Barbarian hit the ring and they beat down Timmy Pulver and Charlie St. Hubbins. These guys were two guys, if you would have said, who's still in the Fed, you wouldn't have guessed Mang and Barbarian. But here we are.
They're still here.
They're still here, and we love them for it, Chad. We move on. William Regal. Is this up next? No, this is just a recap going into it. Yeah, this is William Regal going into the match with Sean Morley. It is a submission match. We'll go over the match when we get to the actual match itself, but this is a little promo tape for Regal and Sean Morley submission match later tonight. But we move on to that tag team match we were talking about earlier. It's Chavo and Teddy Hart taking on the Awesome Lovers, Chad. We all know about the rivalry between Chavo Guerrero and Latin Lover. A blood feud that has spilled. What is it? Starting September when Chavo got abducted to Mexico by Latin Lover. Oh, this has been going on for ages, and now, Latin Lover, in a Loser Leaves Town match, sent Chavo to Raw, and now Latin Lover's here on Monday Night Raw after the draft. Teddy Hart, who's been a little bit of a thorn in the side of Mike Awesome and Latin Lover, especially after Teddy Hart defeated Latin Lover on the first Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. These guys have hated each other. Teddy Hart, he lost that, like I said, he lost that match to Latin Lover. Mike Awesome, he awesome bombed Teddy Hart after the match. And then the following week, he said, GM Foley, there is nothing more than I want than Latin Lover and Mike Awesome. I want to beat them up. I want to match with them at the pay-per-view. And GM Foley said, just make sure it's a 1-on-2. You understand that? You can go find a partner. I don't care. Teddy Hart says, it's fine. Teddy Hart and the go home to Monday Night Raw took on Mike Awesome. And Mike Awesome, after a DQ finish, continued to beat down Latin Lover until Chavo and Del Santo came out and saved the day, and that's has led us to this match right here. Chavo and Teddy, Mike Awesome, Latin Lover, the Awesome Lovers. Chad, who do you have?
I'm gonna go with, as much as I like the team, I'm gonna go with the team that has an actual name. I'm gonna go with the Awesome Lovers.
The Awesome Lovers, Chad. Let's see who wins this match. And about that as Superb Wrestling, yes, the chemistry, the fluidity of an actual team working together gets the job done. And just being two pieces of shit, really, you got to think about it. Mike Awesome and Latin Lover defeat Chavo and Teddy in 1750 when Latin Lover defeats Chavo Guerrero after an eye poke into the La Patada del Cabrito. A big win and a massive match here, Chad. And a massive match. Can we talk about Mike Awesome and how his career has been turned around?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
What a guy. A man that has been all over the indies. Has
86
been,
is wild.
That's what I'm saying. Mike Awesome has been... I don't know what happened. He did really well. I brought him in as a surprise at the Rumble. He's been killing it on the indies in PPW and Ring of Honor as the Gladiator, being PPW World Champion. Mike Awesome has been really just super impressive in his last few months. And, he's not like mega over, but 70s is pretty decent. His highest he's ever been. He was in the 50s last year at this time. He's in the 70s now. And with a win right here, it's only going to go up. And it's not like, look, he is declining stat-wise, if you want to go look behind the curtain. But he's still, this is the crazy thing, right? If I'm not mistaken, he's still working the indies. He just lost the Triple Crown title for PPW against Wolfie D a couple nights ago. He's still working the indies.
Shout out Wolfie D.
Him and BG James just went to war. This guy is a lover of the game, a master of his craft, and he's still doing it for the love of wrestling. So it's cool to see him. He's in MLW. He lost to Savio Vega. It's cool to see him still working, and it's cool to see him like massively just super over. Don't look at that. And it's cool to see. Like even if you think someone's out of it, they can come right back into it. Mike Awesome, who's been piece of shit in real life, I think, right? He got caught with steroids. He's been in and out of both of our companies, but now he's back. He's on a redemption tour and a big win tonight on Backlash. Mike Awesome World Championship run? Who knows? Speaking of World Championship run, I know you're looking at the screen, looking at Manami Toyota, and wondering, what the hell is she doing in WWE? Chad, do you want to go over that?
Well, we had a bidding war.
That's it.
I think I offered her more. I think I offered her more money. Even I think she just left.
Yes, I think she just wanted to come to where the big dogs play, right? She, at this point, and it's no disrespect to you. It's just because right now, I think the women's division on Monday Night Raw is deeper, and maybe not
the fourth woman in WC. She's the fourth former WCW Women's Champion to jump ship.
Could you name all four?
Cutie Suzuki, Charmel, China, Toyota.
Yeah, there you go, Chad. There you go. Yeah, it's just like, well, Takako left me. She was the first ever women's champion, right? Or second. She won the belt off Mickey. Look, the women's division here is just it's deeper. It may not better, right? It might not be better, but it is deeper because after the Trish and Debbie and Beth, who is really a formidable opponent in that division, when you have over here, you got Yamato, you got Nagayo, you got Satomura, you have Lita, you have Mickey James, you got Cutie Suzuki, you got Charmel, the China when she comes back from injury. The women's division is deep here. You might have the more top talent, maybe. We'll see at this point. But Toyota was looking for a challenge, and that's what she told WWE officials when she made her way back over to the Fed, because she was once here before. She wanted to come back after she did what she needed to do in WCW, and you can't fault her. You can't. You just can't fault her. Tonight, though, Chad, she's not in a match. She's not in a match. She's here to look out for her friend Chigusa Nagayo, because we have a triple threat match on our hands tonight. It's Yumatsu, it's Nagayo, and Satomura. We saw the one-on-one match between Nagayo and Yumatsu at WrestleMania. Yumatsu was the women's champion. Nagayo, our women's Royal Rumble winner. These three, I forgot to change their stable pictures, all best friends. Yumatsu and Satomura turned on Nagayo, and the numbers game kept going against Nagayo until in the hospital, Nagayo woke up and she saw Toyota, and she brought her to Monday Night Raw, and that had everyone screaming for their lives. They're like, oh my God, Manami Toyota is back in the WWE. And the fans were losing it. Yumatsu and Satomura tried to beat her up, but Toyota doing her thing. One of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, not just women, but of all time. Triple threat match for the women's championship, though, right now, Chad. Nagayo, Yumatsu, Satomura. Who do you have?
I got Nagayo.
You got Nagayo here, Chad. Special enforcer Toyota outside of the ring, and that helps Nagayo win it. Satomura and Yumatsu were trying to cheat when Toyota, she stopped them. She stopped the cheating. Nagayo gets the job done in a 73. Nagayo makes this defense number 1. She had a 70. Yumatsu an 81. Satomura 50. 53. What a match this was, Chad. Are you excited for Manami Toyota to be back here in the WWE?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting. I'm sad she left. Very sad she left. I think I booked her into a winning machine. She did truly defeat everybody there was to beat, though. In that women's division, except for Beth.
That wasn't me just saying that. That was me saying, hey, she did what she needed to do. She exhausted everyone in that division, like you said, but Beth. But by the time Beth was ready, Toyota was out the door. That's not on Beth Phoenix. You can't wait for Beth to get ready. She beat everyone in her path in that short time that she was there, and she said, "That's enough. I'm out of here." She's also suspended over there for a while, wasn't she?
He was suspended, yeah, for steroids.
So hopefully that doesn't happen over here because you know I am no second chances. You will get canned. She might be back over there after this show. I don't know. She could get popped again.
Right? She could.
Toyota and Nagayo celebrate in the ring after the match. We move on. John Cena and Jun Akiyama, Chad. We saw them have the quotations dream match at WrestleMania where we saw Jun Akiyama win, defeating John Cena. Well, John Cena on the next night on Monday Night Raw challenged Jun Akiyama to another match and said, fuck it, let's do a best of 7. And GM Foley agreed with it and gave the winner of this best of 7 a world title shot at No Mercy in June. And next week, tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw, we see match number 3. We're tied up 1-1 right now. Cena and Akiyama, round 3 on Monday Night Raw. I didn't want to put this on the pay-per-view because I felt like that was cheating. That's just too good of a match to just be on a show for no reason. Is that fair? Is that fair?
That's fair.
That's fair.
Sure, yeah, that's fair.
We move on to another match we have not seen anything about yet. Our last match that we have no idea what it's going to be, Chad. What is your prediction? It doesn't matter about your prediction because we have one-on-one match. Gabriel Burton taking on Edge. Oh, boy, Chad. Gabriel Burton. We saw former United Empire members. I got to remind me to take all these stable pictures off everyone because it makes them look like they're still teammates. They're not. Leading up to WrestleMania, even before that, even before that, it was like November, this October, where Gabriel Burton and Dylan Martin they thought they were ready for the tag team belts. They were with their stablemates Edge and Christian, the self-proclaimed greatest tag team of all time. And Edge and Christian were giving out tag teams left and right to every other team on the roster and other companies. We saw CMLL World Tag Team Champions Apollo Dantes and Shocker get a title match before Gabriel Burton and Dylan Martin. And that's because Edge and Christian just didn't think they were ready. They didn't think they were ready. And at the Royal Rumble, when Burton and Martin eliminated Edge and Christian, that sparked a little tension between the group. That sparked a little tension, leading to Edge and Christian out of spite, giving a tag team championship to the other United Empire tag team stablemates, Chris Jericho and Teddy Hart, out of spite, right in Burton's and Martin's face, and that pissed him off. Burton kind of just said, "I'm done with this," walked out, and that led to Edge and Christian challenging. They like, "You think you're ready? You think you're ready?" Punks, you think you're ready? That's what they said. They were punks. The new generation are just a bunch of arrogant assholes, and that led to Gabriel Burton and Dylan Martin. Sorry, I keep mixing their name up. In a crowning achievement, winning the tag team belts off of Edge and Christian at WrestleMania. A feel good moment. Christian though, he got drafted to Friday Night SmackDown, and now Edge. The last couple weeks. Kind of just pissed off, kind of just walking around not knowing what to do. He has no idea what to like. He just lost his best friend. He lost his tag team belts. What more does he have? And when Kevin Kelly asks him about it, Edge, when he hears Burton's name, he snaps. He grabs Kevin Kelly by the neck, wraps his tie around Kevin Kelly, and chokes out Kevin Kelly until security has to come rescue Kevin. And Edge, ever since then, he's on a blood path right now, and he wants Gabriel Burton, the man that maybe ruined his life, but took everything away from him. It's Burton, and it's Edge tonight, Chad. Who do you have? Edge. No faith in Gabriel Burton tonight?
On this day, I see clearly.
Well, when the missile drop kick comes out, you know only one thing matters. 1, 2, 3. Edge will defeat Gabriel Burton in a hell of a match. But Edge, he definitely cheated in this match, Chad. He definitely did not go over clean. This was definitely a scumbag victory. But Edge does do it. Also, Dylan Martin is... he got attacked 2 weeks. I forgot to mention that. Forgot to even write it down. Dylan Martin got laid out on the go home the Monday Night Raw, by the way. Apologies for not mentioning that. That's why he's not here tonight to help, help watch out for the cheating of Edge. And that's what caused Edge to win tonight. We move on. Oh, and then Edge is about to give a concerto to Burton, or Gabriel Burton, but Dylan Martin comes up. I have it right in front of me. I forgot to read it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Dylan Martin returns to save his tag team partner from Edge, from the concerto. We move on, Chad. We have 3 more matches. 3 more matches on this Backlash. It's Sean Morley and William Regal. One final dance. Submission only, Chad. Submission only. We saw WrestleMania. William Regal win the Intercontinental Championship, a belt that Sean Morley has done so much for. You know, he went to hell and back with Triple H back in September of last year going for it. He won the belt off of a triple threat match with Triple H and Dean Malenko in December. And now he goes into WrestleMania and loses it to a newcomer, a foreigner, you could say, of William Regal. I mean, not by foreigner as that he lives in a different country. Foreigner that he's not a WWE guy. He came in from WCW and immediately won a belt. And that pissed Sean Morley off even more. Sean Morley, after the main event of the first week of Monday Night Raw, invokes his rematch clause, and William Regal, the following week, tells him, "Sunshine, you're going to have to play by my rules this time, as I'm the champion," and challenges him to a submission-only match, which was crazy, because to go home, Sean Morley locked in an armbar in William Regal and made him tap out in the middle of the ring. Is that what's going to happen tonight here at WWE Backlash? Or is William Regal going to prove why he's one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time and prove that that was just a fluke what happened on Monday Night Raw 6 nights ago, and beat and make Sean Morley tap out? Chad, who do you got?
I'm going to go with William Regal.
You got William Regal. William Regal to defend his belt? That's a good pick. William Regal makes Sean Morley tap out with the Regal stretch and makes this defense number 1 of the Intercontinental Championship. William Regal, you know, do you miss him?
Yes.
Okay, you want him back? That's too damn bad.
I was just saying, I don't think there's anything I can do about it.
Regal does it. He is still your Intercontinental Champion. But backstage, Chad, with 2 matches left, we see Jeff Jarrett is here, and he's got the briefcase.
Ooh.
He's got the King of the Mountain briefcase. Is tonight the night where he'll cash in and become the first world champion? Maybe not the first world champion, but his first world title run. We'll find out later tonight. But we have our co-main event. It's Ric Flair and Shannon Moore. Now, you must be wondering, how the fuck did this... How did Ric Flair go from Masawa to Shannon Moore? Well, let me tell you. Ric Flair, he debuts on Monday Night Raw the first week. Suit and tie. Dressed to the tens. Classy guy. Especially a day after losing to Masawa. The following week, though, he goes to GM Foley and he asks him, "Hey, what the hell? Look, I might be getting older in age, but I'm a 13-time world champion, and I feel a little disrespected, Mick, when you drafted me 10th round, 20th overall. I won the Royal Rumble this year. Why was I not a top 5, top 2, not top 1? Woo, pick." And Jim Foley, Mick Foley just says, "Look, Rick, you're just not as spry. You're not as young anymore. You've lost a step to me." And that's me being straight up with you, Rick. You've lost a step. And Shannon Moore walks in and he says, "Unlike me, Rick." And he does a jumping jack. He does one of those jumps where he like jumps and like touches his feet in the air. One of those little leg. It doesn't matter. He says, "Look, Rick, you're past your prime. You're looking at the future, Shannon Moore. Like, you might be a 13-time world champion, but Shannon Moore, my career's just started, Rick, and I'm already a 1-time world champion. I beat Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho for a world championship. You didn't. You lost your last world title match. I won mine." And Ric Flair gets in his face. Don't you ever disrespect me again, punk. Walks out. And that has led to this match, Chad. Shannon Moore, Ric Flair. Who do you have here tonight? Do you have the veteran Ric Flair, or do you have the young upstart Shannon Moore?
I'm going to say Shannon Moore by cheating.
Shannon Moore by cheating, Chad. Shannon Moore by cheating is incorrect. Ric Flair defeats Shannon Moore by cheating. You picked the wrong cheater. You can't out-cheat the world's dirtiest, the dirtiest player in the game, Chad. They both cheat. Ric Flair wins in 1607.
First one I've got wrong.
Ric Flair, though, that one took a lot out of him. Shannon Moore, a young upstart kid, a lot of spunk, a lot of energy, fast-moving, high-pace action from Shannon Moore. Ric Flair struggled to keep up with this kid. It's not one-on-one with Misawa, a guy like, oh, keep it slow, but keep it hard-hitting. This guy, Shannon Moore, acrobatic, high-flying, like I said, kept the motor going. And Ric Flair, he really struggled. And you could really tell that Mick Foley was right. Rick has lost a step. He's 54 now. And a match like this, 16 minutes with Shannon Moore, that's a tough look for Ric Flair. He got it done by cheating, but Chad, let's be honest right here. Ric Flair, man, that may have been his last shot at WrestleMania. That's the last dance.
I mean, I think
Shannon Moore, 91, by the way.
That's insane.
After the match, Shannon Moore, Ric Flair gets takes his hand out to give him a fucking sign of respect, and Shannon Moore spits in Ric Flair's face and rolls out of the ring.
Oh,
what a piece of shit!
Disrespectful.
Yeah. Speaking of disrespectful, Chad, we go to our main event. Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar. What do I need to say that hasn't been said last episode? These guys, I think you... Who'd you pick that last match? You picked Ric Flair?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I picked Shannon Moore.
Oh, you picked Shannon Moore. You idiot.
That's the only one I've got wrong.
No, you got two wrong. You got the... You picked Psychosis.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. You didn't want to, did you? Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar. Look, the main event of WrestleMania last year... No, not the main event. The Raw main event, at least. Two guys that came into the business together in Future Shock. Two guys have careers kind of separated when Brock Lesnar went up. Randy Orton kind of stagnated, but went up at the same time. We saw WrestleMania. We saw the build-up to that. Not much has happened since then, other than Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton beat the fuck out of each other since then. A brawl every week, really. That's really has gone down. Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton. Randy wanted the rematch. Brock, like he said, I'm going to kill you again, brother. And Randy Orton says he made Brock Lesnar watch the tape of SummerSlam 2002 where he threw him off the cell and put him on the show for a while. And Brock says, hey, I've done it to someone before. I will kill you again. So we got a Tampa street fight here. It's Orton and it's Lesnar, Chad. Who do you have?
I'm going to go Lesnar.
You're going to go Lesnar to retain his belt?
Yes. In the Tampa street fight. Brock
Lesnar wins in this Tampa street fight in 2022 with an overhead belly to belly on the Tampa streets. Brock Lesnar makes this defense number 1 of the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Not enough selling and not enough psychology, which was the problem the first time they fought, and that's fine, Chad. That is fine. But after the match, Chad, a car arrives to the downtown scene.
Oh, hell yeah.
To the downtown scene. And out comes it in a suit with his briefcase, Jeff Jarrett. No cash in, but he lets Brock Lesnar know, this is coming for you. I'm cashing in on you, Brock. Not tonight, but it's coming. And that is how we end the show on 94. Opening the door for Chad here. I knew that was going to happen with Brock and Randy. They don't click as well as I want them to. But it's all right, because that will probably be the last time you see them together, Chad. How do you feel about Backlash here, Chad?
Oh, I mean, a very good show. A very respectable 94. It'll be, it's open. It's open, but, of course, we'll have to see if we can get over a 94. But, yeah, I'm excited. I think it was a good show.
What's your favorite
I'm
part of
excited
it?
to see when Jarrett cashes in.
Ooh,
What's my
yes.
favorite part?
Yeah.
My favorite part.
All right, we'll see you for Spring Stampede.
All right, everybody, we are here coming off of a pretty solid Backlash. We are here at Spring Stampede, Justin.
Yeah. Spring Stampede. This is a pay-per-view.
Yes, it's pay-per-view.
This is a pay-per-view. Used to come off the heels of the Rising Sun pay-per-view, and now it doesn't.
Now it doesn't.
Now
it comes off of now it's the Nitro exclusive pay-per-view after the Thunder exclusive pay-per-view, the Classic.
Yeah, we can go over the last couple of shows of Spring Stampede where you had a main event NWO of Hogan, Hall, Nash, Austin, and Sting defeating the Resistance with a angle at the end saying "fuck Eddie." I don't remember. That's because Eddie just left. You had Saturn defeat Masawa. How disgusting. Dreamer defeated DDP for the Pure title. What do we got? Savage and Flair was cool. What the hell's Hippo time?
Why is this Randy Savage?
We're gonna need to go. Someone run back and figure out what that means. Vince Rulo. Oh, I was naming segments at this point. Do the do. Vince Russo is the coolest. Moonbar.
Moonbar.
Puppy dog. Was I doing it at that point? I don't remember. Davey Boy defeated.
No.
This is a card and a half right here. Davey Boy over Benoit.
AJ and Davey Boy versus Benoit, both in the pre-show.
Yep. The next year, main evented Steiner and Juventud. We saw Brett Owen and the Foundation defeat Sensei Savage, Noble, Awesome, and Shannon Moore. Ray over Raven, RVD over Foley, AJ Styles over Del Santo, Stardust over Six, Bubba over Hennig, Chono and Tenzan defeat Best of the Best. Lodi and Sick Boy defeat DNA, which is, I think, Chad's biggest not. You didn't take advantage of DNA of Demonicco and Alex, right? The next year, main evented by Jericho and Scott Hall. We saw Shawn Michaels defeat Owen Hart and Goldberg. Ken Shamrock in a 6-way with Shark Boy in it. So that's
That was Shawn Michaels' debut, if I remember correctly.
That is Shawn Michaels' debut. Sweet Sensations defeat Lance Storm and Bobby Roode. Benoit over Taka. Let's see what else. Anything. Samoa Joe, Lodi, Shannon Moore, Matt Hardy, Kevin Nash, Mick Foley to open the show, got a 90. And last year, we remember Rock and Owen. Bret Hart retaining the belt over Jericho and Shawn. Immortal Gentleman, which is Tatum and Hogan, defeat the Dudleys. Benoit over Show. CM Punk and Perry Saturn over the Outsiders. Samoa Joe over Ultimo Dragon and Tenzan. AJ Styles, Lodi, Batista, Taz, Suzuki over Ray, Debbie over Trish, and the pre-show matches that who cares about. Chad, tell me about this Spring Stampede right here.
Yes, so Spring Stampede, we are going to debut the first ever Stadium Stampede match, which consists of Team Rey Mysterio and then the Paul Heyman guys.
That's it.
Well, that's
sell
the
your
event.
Sell your show.
No, we've got the women's champion Beth Phoenix making her first pay-per-view defense since winning the cashing in Money in the Bank. I think it's her second defense because she fought in a rematch. But she didn't. This is the first pay-per-view since she's made her defense. Or since she won the title. So we have that. There will be a epic tag team match featuring Trish Stratus. And there's more to come, Justin, but we'll keep it a secret.
All right, let's get into it, Chad. Let's get into it. Ooh, a small, only 19 segments. Segments?
Yes.
Smegma?
Segments. So smegma. So basically, this here just kind of just like explains what has been happening. You see, Paul Heyman and the Paul Heyman guys, they started they've been on a mission, and their mission is we need gold. Paul Heyman wants to prove that he is the best manager in the world. He is not only, these are the Paul Heyman guys, but he cares just as much about their success as he does, like, all individually. He wants them all to be the best he could be. His team, of course, being Big Daddy V, Minoru Suzuki, Chris Benoit, who at that point, Big Daddy V was the United States champion. And Suzuki and Chris Benoit were the tag team champions. And Raven joined up with the Paul Heyman guys. And Raven, of course, he said, Paul Heyman, he gave me my first break with ECW and really made me the wrestler that I am today. There wouldn't have been WCW World Heavyweight Championship Raven without Paul Heyman. And so, Paul Heyman, he's starting a group, of Paul Heyman guys. Well, there's no bigger Paul Heyman guy than Raven. And his quest to get gold, and basically Raven puts his claim out for Rey Mysterio. He wants that World Heavyweight Championship match. And so that group had been feuding with, the champions throughout the month, Big Show and Chris Benoit Big Show and Billy were actually able to get back their tag team championships in the build up to this match due to the shenanigans from this like little warring little group. And also, in a way to continue to stick it to the Paul Heyman guys, Big Daddy V lost the United States Championship to Fit Finley, Justin. And so Paul Heyman guys, they've got a score to settle. And so, they came out and, they attacked Rey Mysterio, beat him down. And while this was happening, Paul Heyman was trying to recruit another former ECW star and another man who has worked with Paul Heyman in the past, Rob Van Dam, who is, of course, a former tag team champion with current Paul Heyman guy, Minoru Suzuki. So the entire time, it has been Paul Heyman trying to recruit Rob Van Dam to the Paul Heyman guys, and it's been Rey Mysterio trying to get him to fight alongside Team Rey Mysterio. And Justin, that came to a head at the Go Home show, where we had Raven versus Rey Mysterio for the World Heavyweight Championship. Rey Mysterio was able to pick up the belt against Raven, or he was able to defend the belt against Raven. There was a big fight, and Rob Van Dam came out, and everyone was wondering, who's Rob Van Dam going to pick? What's Rob Van Dam's stake here? And Rob Van Dam, he came out to that ring to announce that he's not picking a side, all right? He's got more important things to worry about. He's Mr. Money in the Bank, and this just, quite frankly, isn't his fight. And so then Paul Heyman ended Nitro that week by saying, we always have a plan B. We don't know what that means, Justin. That's where we left off on Nitro. Yeah, you see here, as it stands right now, Rey Mysterio, the Hurricane, Big Show, and Billy taking on Minoru Suzuki, Big Daddy V, Raven, and Chris Benoit in the Stadium Stampede match tonight.
My OCD hates how they're not together in team-wise, like Rey and Big Show, and then it's Suzuki.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm losing it. I'm excited for that match. It'll be fun. Let's get into the first match of the night, though.
I don't know how it's going to do, but we have another angle to set up our opening match tonight. So while this has been going on, Justin, Shawn Michaels has been claiming that he has been trying to show Kendo Kashin that he is a true role model, a true hero, someone to look up to. And and so he's been trying to show Kendo Kashin that he should look up to Shawn Michaels, and so he's been beefing with the Shamrock Academy, and he even poked fun of Charles Wright, who of course is the godfather of the FBI, and it all came to a head when these three groups came to blows throughout the month. They've been fighting, they've been in matches off and on, and Shawn Michaels decided to challenge one member from each team in a triple threat match tonight, and he is told his protege Kendo Kashin to take notes because he is going to prove that he is a true wrestling visionary by hoping to pick up a win against these two groups. Of course, the FBI, they've been using their mob style mentality to try to like, you know, pick up the scraps a little bit. You know, the Shamrock Academy were feuding with Shawn Michaels, Kendo Cashin, and a man who Shawn Michaels tried to recruit to his ranks, and a man who's been trying to get back into relevancy, Ahmed. And they were all facing off, and then the FBI were able to jump the winners and pick up the pieces there. So, you know, they've been trying to get their, you know, lumps in when they can. Ken Shamrock and Samoa Joe have been trying to come up with a big game plan and show Lash LaRue and Matt Cross what happens when you stick to the Shamrock Academy way, you know. And this all comes to blow tonight as we get Shawn Michaels versus Justin. You want to take a guess on who the other two participants in this match will be? Who will be the representatives for these two teams?
What do you think, Tread? It's going to be Shawn Michaels, Ken Shamrock, and Johnny Stamboli.
Okay, interesting.
The three guys who get the best in-ring performances in this match.
Well, as we move on to our next match, it was the big enforcer himself, Chuck Palumbo. He comes down there to represent the FBI, and Justin, and about to have great wrestling and good heat, Ken Shamrock defeats Shawn Michaels and Chuck Palumbo, and Ken Shamrock defeats Chuck Palumbo with a belly-to-belly suplex.
Oh, Shawn not taking the pin.
Shamrock Academy gets the victory.
That's cool. The Lions Den Academy. Yeah, Shawn not taking the pin. Doesn't mean as much, but I like it. And
then after the match, Justin, we see that the Shamrock Academy, we see that their game plan has been successful as, you know, they celebrate in the ring with the fans.
I forgot Vader was still around.
He's like the manager of the group, I guess, since he's retired.
Dude, he's waddling around.
Yeah. Justin, we have here Paul Heyman. He's here with the Paul Heyman guys, the PHG as I call them. And he says, Jeremy Borash, last week on Nitro, when Rob Van Dam decided to not join up with the Paul Heyman guys, I gotta tell you, it cut deep. It hurt my feelings. You know, I remember booking Rob Van Dam when nobody else wanted to give him the time of day. And how does he repay me? Turning his back on me. But you know what? I get it. You know what? I am going to not let it affect me. Rob Van Dam is a grown-ass man, and he can make his own decisions because we have a plan B. As I mentioned, we always have a plan B, and this is a wicked plan B. And as this is happening,
wicked,
just into the door comes the Monster Abyss, who just kind of stands there holding a 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire, and he says, I'd like to see Rey Mysterio and his little team of misfits game plan against this new violent, sadistic team, this new combined powers of Minoru Suzuki, Chris Benoit, Big Daddy V, Raven, and a Monster Abyss. Justin, Abyss is working with the Paul Heyman guys tonight.
Genuine question. Has Rey Mysterio beat all 5 of these guys in a single match?
He might have.
I was thinking about it when you said Abyss might be the only one he hasn't beaten, but I know he's beaten the other 4 in singles action. I like it. He could be the true make or break for Rey Mysterio. The mountain he can't climb, the Monster Abyss. He beat Big Daddy V clean. Big Daddy V just lost to Finley. Why would he be afraid of fucking Big Daddy V?
It was a tainted win.
I'll show you a tainted win. Yeah, this is going to be a fun match. Raven, Abyss.
We have here, of course,
the storyline recap. Yeah, go over this storyline, Chad. All 0 seconds of it.
So Beth Phoenix was supposed to rematch Manami Toyota here. But I forgot that Toyota wasn't going to be here. So, in her place, representing, a woman who, she has a lot of friendship for, and even though, her relationship ended a little rocky. And she says, Beth Phoenix kind of Nicole Bass blames Beth Phoenix for Toyota leaving. And she wants to take her revenge out on Beth Phoenix tonight by beating her ass and taking her women's championship and reminding people that Nicole Bass is a former women's champion. And so we have Beth Phoenix versus Nicole Bass tonight.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Toyota, the whole storyline with Toyota and then her not showing up tonight was that's our fault. That's me and your fault. We booked Nitro and Thunders differently this week or this time around, so that didn't help at all.
It is what it is.
We'll probably won't do that again, but continue. Yeah, I would have guessed Beth Phoenix would have won. Yeah, that makes sense.
Going with Beth Phoenix, and well, it is indeed what happens. Beth Phoenix defeats Nicole Bass in 7:14. With the Down in Flames, and makes defense #1 of the women's championship.
Would have been crazy to give Nicole Bass the win here. On no build at all. Yeah, that's a tough look for Beth Phoenix. Her big first feud. Toyota just walks out on her basically, and I mean, what's next for Beth? I mean, who's next in line, Chad? Let's be. I mean, is it Debbie or Trish?
I think that might be. I think we might find out later on tonight because
a tag match, right?
We have another women's tag. We have another women's match on the card tonight.
Is it a tag match? You said
it's a tag match. Yeah.
How would that determine a #1 contender?
I'm just saying, maybe momentum carries those two. Fair. Maybe those two women get some momentum carried through, but we'll have to see. We see Fit Finlay with his United States Championship, and he's got Canyon. You see Canyon, whose arm is in a sling. He shattered his elbow on the road to Spring Stampede, and he cannot compete. But he was injured at the hands of Paul Heyman guys after a #1 contenders match. Kenyon lost, and so he was inspired by his frenemy. I think that's a good word for them. Fit Finlay. They've tagged together, they've fought and bled together. And Kenyon, he told Fit Finlay, he said, "You know what? You've impressed me. And he shook Fit Finlay's hand. On Nitro, on the Go Home to Nitro, on the Go Home to Nitro. He shook Finley's hand, and they made good. And now they're backstage, and Fit Finlay, he's got the United States Championship, and he's hanging out backstage with Canyon. And he says, "You know what, something, Canyon? You know what? I love to fight. I mean, you could say my name is Finlay, and I love to fight. I love to fight so much. And Canyon, I want to do something with this title because I want to do something that hasn't been done before. And then this is when the champion would come out and say that he wants to have an open challenge and he'd fight somebody one-on-one. I don't want to do that. All right, anybody can come out and have an open challenge. I don't want an open challenge. I want to fight, and I'll put this U.S. Championship on the line anytime to get in a good old-fashioned fight. So tonight, I'm challenging 3 other dudes to come down to that ring, and let's get ourselves a good old-fashioned Belfast brawl." And he takes the U.S. Championship, and he heads down to the ring.
I mean, that's still an open challenge?
It's an open 4-way.
I think the streak of you having an open challenge on pay-per-view continues.
Canyon. So a little behind the curtain here. This was going to be another Finlay versus Canyon match for their rivalry.
Yes.
Canyon got hurt, so
unfortunate.
Had to be unfortunate. So we had to book on the fly. So I didn't really have a solid backup plan for Finlay. So yes, he's having an open challenge tonight. But don't worry. We've got other things planned. But for this pay-per-view, he's going to be wrestling in a 4-way.
I mean, Canyon's on the shelf for a while too, so not great for. It was a year. He got locked out with surgery. Yeah, I'm gonna predict before his opponents come out that he will win this match. I doubt.
That's an interesting theory. That's an interesting.
He said 3
theory.
other people come out and 4 of them come out. What the hell's going on?
To show you how much of a champion he is, he says, "Hell, I'll take out one more. What's one more?" And Justin, in a decent match, Fit Finley defeats Perry Saturn, Norman Smiley, Too Cold Scorpio, and Brian Clark at 9:47. When Fit Finley pinned Norman Smiley with a tombstone pile driver and makes defense number 1. The United States Championship. I think Fit Finley's 44. He might be the oldest champion in WCW history.
In history, no. Hogan's won the belt. Bret's won the belt. Bret's probably older than 44. Oh, yeah. Let's give me 1 second, Chad.
Okay.
Forgot to look. Bret Hart is less over than Teddy Hart.
Oh man, fair enough.
And Owen Hart is significantly less over than Bret. So there we go. Sorry, I forgot. I needed to check that before we forgot. Oh, a match I forgot was happening, but I'm so excited for.
Yeah, we have here, Justin. Lex Luger has came back to WCW. And, he called himself the total package, He prides himself on being this chiseled sex symbol. He comes out and he makes the women swoon, or so he used to anyway. Dave Bautista has quickly been climbing up the ranks here. And I mean, he's an impressive specimen of a man. He's a physical animal. And Lex Luger took exception to this. They had a push-up contest on Nitro. And it's been a battle of who has the best physique, who's stronger, who's faster. And tonight, it all comes to head when Dave Bautista takes on Lex Luger tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the past versus the present right now, or the future, really. Lex Luger, who's, 45 years old at this point? I mean, these days are behind him, right? Long gone are the days where he would come out with 1% body fat and looking like a chiseled Greek god on WCW Nitro. It's now this. It's now this pile of this. He looks. I don't know. I don't even want to be. I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to be mean. But he looks like his body looks like leather right now. It's just. It's gross looking.
I like to think he just looks like a muscular old man.
Yes, he looks.
I would even say, like in my storyline, like how I have it in my head, he's still shredded. He's just a shredded old man, right? And so Batista is shredded, but like attractive.
Lex Luger in 2001. WCW, he was shredded, but he still didn't look or move good. That's what he is. Imagine that 2 more years down the line. All right, he's barely.
He has to carry you.
He's barely working anymore. Batista is Lex Luger 15 years ago. He's a freak of nature, physically. Maybe not probably basically the same in ring wise, but just with that look. He's got that look. And it's a battle of old versus new. It's Batista, Lex Luger. Come on, Lex Luger. Damn it.
And Batista beats Lex Luger with a sit-out powerbomb.
5 minutes. Could Luger not go more than like 5?
He couldn't go. No, he couldn't go. I kept going down. I wanted it to go 7 minutes. He couldn't go 7, so I went down each minute until he could go. And then I said, you can only go 5 minutes. Dave's going to dominate you. And so then I made it a 5-minute squash instead.
Yeah, that's what I thought this match would be like. Let's be honest, Lex Luger in this game has deteriorated to a point where he is a liability putting him in the ring. You never know if he's going to hurt himself or someone else. He doesn't have much left to give to the business other than his looks. So he's getting to that point where in-ring wise, he could retire, should retire, and he could be a great manager for a guy like Batista if he ever makes that face turn or whatever.
And maybe he will. Who knows?
Maybe he will. Maybe I spoiled something Chad was working on. I don't know.
You might have.
Sorry. Okay. I genuinely did not know.
I think it's the no-brainer decision. And Rey Mysterio, he rallies the troops. He says, listen, all right, it's 5-on-4, okay? Listen, he thinks that's gonna defeat. You think that's going to make a difference? All right. I'm confident in our team. All right. I've got the Hurricane, who took me to my limit in this ring. Took me to the edge. Then I see Big Show and Billy, a team that people counted out, but you proved them wrong, and you won a tag team tournament, and you won those tag team titles, and then overcame adversity. And when people counted you out again after you lost those belts, you gained them back. We're a team of fighters. All we do is fight. All we do is overcome. And we're going to do that one more time tonight. In this Stadium Stampede match, us four, we're going to go to battle. We're going to overcome. And we're going to hold ourselves high. And we send those Paul Heyman guys home packing. Nice little Rey Mysterio hype, team hype speech.
Are you missing someone from this team?
As it stands right now, there is no other team. Abyss joined. There was 4-on-4 each to start the show, and Abyss has joined.
So now it's 4-on-5?
Now it's 4-on-5.
That doesn't seem very fair. They better find a partner.
You're not wrong. We see here backstage. We see here. So this has been going on for that feud with Ivory and Trish Stratus. Trish has been making fun of Ivory for being, older. But she's taken it to new heights. She tried to put Ivory in a nursing home. She's been bullying Ivory, and Nora finally stood up for her friend. And so then Trish Stratus started bullying Nora as well, just kind of being like the mean girl. And so Nora and Ivory challenged her to a match, and Trish Stratus said, "Listen, if you're gonna come after the best, then that's fine. But I'm gonna call it my friend, and she's gonna fight she's gonna be my partner." And Justin, we finally get the long-awaited return of Debbie Malenko.
Oh, hell yeah. She's back. One of the greatest WCW women wrestlers of all time. She's back to be a bully with Trish.
Before she left, her and Trish Stratus made kind of that partnership.
Debbie just got a babyface pop for me, even though she's in the heel team tonight. Whoopsie. I fucking hate Debbie Malenko.
Boo.
Boo.
And in a poor match, Debbie Malenko and Trish Stratus defeat Nora Greenwald and Ivory in 9:48 when Debbie Malenko and Nora Greenwald.
Damn, Ivory not taking the pin here?
That would have been an oversight on my part.
Trish not getting the pin is crazy too. Yeah. These the bullies. If you ever had a women's division tag team belts, they'd be it. But
we don't.
But you don't.
And people have been saying we need more championships.
No. Next segment. Oh no.
We have here one of Justin's favorite little storylines moving forward. Of course, Chase Tatum, he took that matchmaker test that Mr. Long Haul himself made, and it showed that there was not a single person on the male roster that he had perfect chemistry with. However, there was one female that he had perfect chemistry with, and it was at that moment Chase Tatum realized he let his true tag team partner go. Chasing Tatum. When he didn't select Daphne as the winner. And so he tried to make it up to her. He found her and invited her out to drinks after the show one night. And she smiled and said, "I would love to go out to drinks with you. Can I bring my boyfriend?" And out comes her boyfriend, Sean O'Hare. Now these two, of course, they're no strangers to each other as well. Sean O'Hare was the rookie for when the Wild Boys were Tough Enough coaches.
Yeah, how did he not know he had a girlfriend?
Listen, he lost Tough Enough, and
what a bad coach.
Contact.
Well, he was also part of the Wild Boys with Chase Tatum as well.
That's what I'm saying.
You should have known.
That's what I said. Well, listen, the Wild Boys kind of fell out. I feel like they might have lost touch. But anyway, so they went out to drinks. They had a blast, and then Daphne decided to set Chase Tatum up on a double date with her friend ODB. And so, and so they were on a date having a great time. And actually, Chase was enjoying himself a little bit, but it got interrupted by Jazz, Jacqueline, and these two guys who we hired off of local talent who just happened to be out there too. And and Jazz and Jacqueline, they wanted their dates to defend their honor a little bit because they don't like Daphne and ODB. They didn't like how they were being loud at this bar, and they wanted to hold themselves, a little like to have some class, basically. And ODB was like, being in typical ODB fashion, she had her bare feet on the table. She was like slinging drinks everywhere. She was being rowdy. And Sean O'Hare and Chase Tatum beat those dudes' asses. And so tonight they're having a fun time. They're watching the pay-per-view backstage. And Jazz and Jacqueline, they talk some more shit to Daphne and ODB, and they said, you know what, we found some men who would love, to nothing more than to shut you all up because you've been nothing but loud and obnoxious all night backstage. And in comes the Holly family of Holly, Crash Holly, and Hardcore's there too. He's just not in this little segment here. And Justin, they basically Sean O'Hare and Chase Tatum say, "How about you make us?" And that turns into this impromptu match that we have tonight.
Oh, hell yeah. I love impromptu matches here on the pay-per-view, baby. Come on, ODB.
As we got Chase Tatum and Sean O'Hare versus Crash Holly and Kali Holly. And in a poor match, Chase Tatum and Sean O'Hare defeated Crash and Kali when Chase Tatum pinned. It was supposed to be Crash Holly.
Wow, Kali Holly taking a pin here. Uh-oh.
It's supposed to be Crash Holly.
Oh, no. Tough enough? Not enough, I say. He's just tough.
Chase Tatum and Sean O'Hare get the win.
Yeah, Chase Tatum, from where he was in my show to where he's at now at a 57, is just disgusting. Disgraceful.
He was in the main event of a Starrcade not too long ago.
He did. He was in the he won a World War III.
Was, yeah, he did.
And now look at him.
I was teaming with Sean O'Hare.
I wasn't talking about the Sean O'Hare. I don't care about. I meant his in-ring performance. I don't care about teaming with Sean O'Hare. That's a cool storyline right there. Yeah. Just how the mighty have fallen in-ring wise. Oh my god.
We have here backstage.
Oh my god.
So we see here Ted DiBiase's in his office, and
who are you people?
Yeah, basically. He walks into his office. As soon as he walks into the office, all of a sudden music starts playing. People jump out everywhere. He's like, what in the hell is going on? And he looks over and he says, you see, player, I told you he'd love this house party we're having. He said, listen here, player, we know that the Idol is the fastest rising star you have. And ever since he's debuted, the fans have been obsessed. Isn't that right, Mike? That's absolutely right, Teddy Long, says the host, the host of the Idol Experience, which is what we're experiencing right now. He says, but exactly what is next for the Idol? We're going to have to tune in next week on the Idol. Anyway, so while we're here tonight, we decided let's party down, and there's music everywhere. People are having a grand old time. Long halls there, dancing. And all of a sudden, Ted DiBiase says, well, this couldn't get any weirder. And all of a sudden, he turns around and finds this muscular man behind him, and he says, I got a pop quiz for you. and Ted DiBiase, while this is all happening, Tara Verone shows up. She's just having a grand old time, dancing with everybody, and Ted DiBiase, he puts his hands on his head. He's sick and tired of these shenanigans, and he turns around and he sees Ron Simmons standing there. And Ron Simmons just kind of stands around, looking around, doesn't really say anything. But the music stops, and everybody kind of looks at him as the party just awkwardly ends, and he just goes, damn!
I hate everything. I'm joking. I don't hate all of this. Who the hell's Mike Mizanin, Chad?
That's the host of the Idol Experience.
Who is the Idol? Tell me about the Idol. Where did he come from? What's his story?
So the Idol was a talent that Teddy Long discovered, and he knew as soon as he saw the Idol, he knew that this person was going to be a star. And so he brought him from Hollywood, where he found him, and took him to WCW, where
he's been on the roll, apparently.
him and Mike Mazen, who of course has been the host of the Idol Experience, they're just here to make a name for the Idol.
Okay. All right. Oh, we go straight into. Oh my God, Chad.
We go into our main event that got us 78. That's a bummer.
No, I don't care about that. Why didn't even angle before?
I don't know. I thought I did, but clearly I didn't.
I'm sure it's after.
These men, they were battling everywhere. You know, the Hurricane took a crazy bump where he jumped off of the building himself onto a table that puts that Chris Benoit got put through. Abyss had a crazy spot where he had his barbed wire bat. And there were attacks involved. That Big Show chokeslammed him through. It was insane. There was violence everywhere. Rey Mysterio and Raven, they were battling. Rey Mysterio at one point drove a four-wheeler around the stadium Stampede, chasing Raven around. It was crazy. There were shenanigans everywhere. But Justin, Paul Heyman guys were starting. Their numbers game were starting to pull away here, you know. These men are all violent individuals. Minoru Suzuki, you know, he had Billy in like a chokehold. You know, Chris Benoit, you know, he had Big Show and a submission hold himself. You know, those two teams showing that they might have been the better technical wrestlers, and maybe they get some payback for losing their belts. Big Daddy V literally just crushes the Hurricane, and Raven and Rey Mysterio was trying to fight off all these guys. You know, he runs into a pile driver from Raven, and the Paul Heyman guys, you know, they're all standing tall. Paul Heyman's laughing. Justin, I don't know if you remember, but there's been
I don't.
Man who's been trying to get payback on the Wicked for taking out all of his former ECW friends in the last few weeks and the last few pay-per-views and a variety of tag team and six-man tags, and that man is Rob Van Dam, who at first was not going to get involved in this business, but then you could argue Paul Heyman made it his business by bringing in his rival. Abyss has a pin over Rob Van Dam, Justin. I don't know if you remember that. But while this is happening, Rob Van Dam's music hits. The crowd goes nuts. He has his Money in the Bank briefcase in hand, and he runs in and he slides into the ring, and he's got his briefcase and Rey Mysterio, who's now like on the ground, like after that tombstone pile driver. There's a storyline here. The announcers say, well, Rob Van Dam is here, but what is he doing? He's got his briefcase in hand, and he looks over at Rey Mysterio holding his briefcase. And the crowd is starting to be like, don't do it, what's going on? And then he looks over at Paul Heyman, and he looks over at the Paul Heyman guys, but more importantly, he looks over at the monster Abyss, and Rob Van Dam takes his Money in the Bank briefcase and plunks Abyss in the head with it. And then this goes on a fury of offense. You know, these men, they're blown up. They've wrestled a fight. Rob Van Dam, he's fast, he's agile, and he's fighting them all off, giving his team enough time to come back to into the fight. And now, Justin, it's all evened up. It's 5-on-5, and Justin, the good guys were able to get the win.
Yeah. What'd you think this match was gonna do?
When Rob Van Dam
tapped out Abyss.
His rival. He tapped out Abyss, his rival Abyss.
What'd you think this match was gonna do?
I thought it was gonna do it at least get in the 80s.
Yeah, I wonder what killed it. Let's see. Ray adequate. He was penalized for a cinematic style match. RVD was penalized for only appearing for the finish. Hurricane was penalized for a cinematic. Big Daddy V was penalized for a cinematic. Suzuki was penalized for the cinematic. Yeah, didn't help.
It was just a cinematic penalty.
Yeah, it worked for some people, but it also didn't. It also segment was penalized for some workers having a limited or partial involvement. So having RVD come in mid-match also fucked the match as well. So, yeah, everything just didn't work out for you in that part.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. It's still, Benoit got a 96, if that makes you feel any better.
There you go.
RVD got a 66, if that makes you feel any better.
It was as limited as
Yeah, that's
limited.
and those are never good. I don't like booking that because
I almost didn't do it because I knew it was going to be a bad rating wise. But like the storyline was he runs in and saves the team and gets the win, so he had to come in late.
You could have still booked it that way, but just said like a segment before or while you're describing the match, have him come in the match, and then it'd just be a straight up match like that. But that makes sense. You did it. You did it properly, and I respect that.
So, I figured there was a good possibility this match tanked because it was a cinematic match, but that's okay. I had fun doing it. I don't regret it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. It's not about the ratings, Chad. Remember.
Exactly. And this is great because Big Show and Billy, they hold up their tag titles. Every single one of these guys, like AEW style, gushing blood all over their faces. Like Rey Mysterio, he's wearing his mask, so you can't really tell he's bleeding. Big Show's busted open, and so is Billy. They hold up their tag titles. Hurricane's holding up his hands in victory. Rey holds up his world championship, and he looks over at Rob Van Dam, and he goes and he shakes he goes out for a handshake and a thank you to Rob. Rob, he looks at that world heavyweight championship. He looks at his Money in the Bank briefcase. He looks back at Rey, and he shakes his hand. And the baby faces end the night, and the crowd goes home happy on Spring Stampede. Now let's see how bad this pay-per-view fucked us.
What do you think? What do you think, Tread?
I think we're getting an 80.
I think 82.
I think it could be worse.
85. 85.
Hey, sneak away with a blue number, I'll take it.
Yeah. Doesn't help, but yeah, a blue number is a blue number. What a fun pay-per-view, Chad. What a fun pay-per-view. Shout out Lex Luger. We'll see you for the next pay-per-view.
It's one of those things that I really like about the brand exclusive pay-per-views are there are a lot of unsung heroes here on this pay-per-view that wouldn't be on a pay-per-view.
Oh, you think Lex Luger and Nicole Bass are working or Brian Clark are working a regular show? Hell no.
Exactly.
Hell no. Right. Yeah, you didn't.
Especially when all the main event stars are in the main event.
No, what could have made this show better was your co-main be the Shamrock Sean Palumbo match instead of Tatum and O'Hare against the Hollies.
I wanted a strong open, so I didn't. I was trying to think what match I thought would be the best opening.
Yeah, that was the best match of the night by far. Shout out Fit Finley. We'll see you for next month. Chad, do you know what your show is next month?
I'm reworking pay-per-views right now, so there's a possibility that it gets renamed.
Oh, okay. All right.
Redoing my pay-per-view schedule.
I hope I have fucking logos for it.
We'll figure it out.
We got WWE Vengeance, a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view coming up next month. We'll see what WCW has in store for you. We'll see you for episode 5 of this brand new season of the Monday Night Wars. Fuck Cody Rhodes.